So your question is, how long does it take to get prepared for a trial? And the answer is however long I have. That's how long it takes to get prepared for trial. I had a case one time that took quite a while before it actually got indicted, and that afforded me the chance to have many, many meetings with my client. Over a period of time, he was a tradesman and had a good career, but I began to become concerned about his ability to read. It just sort of hit me after many meetings with him, and I fleshed that out with him and found out that while he could read, it was a real difficulty for him. So I contacted a forensic psychologist who I use, and I had him tested to figure out what level he reads at. And then I told the forensic psychologist about the case. The case was my client was charged with lying on the form, the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Form 4473. That's the form anybody who wants to go purchase a firearm fills out. Well, that form is virtually incomprehensible, or at least sections of it are. And my client checked the wrong box on one of the questions. It was not accurate. So he got indicted in federal court for lying on that form. And I was able to have not only his skill level of reading tested, but then I was able to test the reading comprehension level of the form itself. And there were 3 sections to the form, and each of them were assessed by an expert. And it showed that this form read at a very high level reading, 3rd year college. And I would say that was being generous to the form. The one particular line that he was accused of lying on was incomprehensible. The line, it had 3 commas and 2 ors, and I couldn't hardly follow it. So we went to trial, and the prosecutor wanted to wave that form around, which they often do, and say, this is the smoking gun, this is the big evidence. Well, over the course of the trial, I was the one waving the form around to show the jury, this thing is incomprehensible. You can't punish my guy for knowingly committing a felony and lying on this form when he couldn't barely understand what the question was. And that jury was out 45 minutes and came back with a not guilty verdict. It was a very satisfying day to get the just result for the right reason. So, I'm going to take whatever amount of time I have, whatever amount of time is available. And in that case, we had quite a long time prior to an indictment, and that was fortunate for me. It gave me a chance to get to know my client well enough to find the defect in the case. And so when you do find yourself under suspicion, even this guy was not charged when he came and hired me. A police officer had come to him, and he had the wherewithal to say, wait a minute, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to go get with Andy Arnold. And he did that, and we got the right result for him.